Hello, my name is Bill Robertson. I'm a PhD in mechanical engineering student, and my topic is using nuclear energy to bridge the gap to renewable energy. What is bridging? It's using a temporary energy source to move from non-renewable fossil fuels to renewable energy sources. Why is bridging part of the future? Because current energy consumption using fossil fuels is very destructive towards the environment and therefore towards life. Renewable energy is renewable and therefore is less destructive, less pollutive, and generally healthier. When should bridging begin? As soon as possible. Now is unrealistic, but in the future 10 to 20 years it is realistic to begin bridging. How should bridging be used? It is temporary. We can't look to stand on the bridge energy for very long. In terms of decades, probably 9 to 15 decades of bridging will give us time to develop renewable energy that is largely and widely usable and implementable. Where should bridging be implemented? First world countries or major energy consumers. The US, China, most of modern Europe, these are the primary energy consumers and should be the first ones to begin bridging. A brief overview of nuclear energy. Enrico Fermi discovered the property of uranium that, when bombarded with neutrons, splits off atoms and loses mass, resulting in a large energy release. He developed Pile 1 a few years later, took a hiatus during World War II to work on the Manhattan Project, and then in 1951 he helped design and create Experimental Bridge Reactor 1, or EBR-1, which produced the world's first electricity from a nuclear reactor. In 1991 there were 31 nuclear power plants. In modern times there are 440 nuclear power plants. In terms of failures, the three ones that people know are 3 Mile Island in the US, INES level 5. Although catastrophic, it was not on the scale of something like Chernobyl, which caused widespread irradiation, widespread death, and a large swath of unusable land for several hundred years. Fukushima had a similar catastrophe to Chernobyl, however the damage was more contained, given that it was much more improved in terms of safety, in terms of design, and in construction. Modern energy usage is primarily non-renewable. Almost 85% is fossil fuel, and nuclear being 4% of that is a large portion non-renewable, and using nuclear as a larger chunk, 20, 30, 40%, pushing towards renewables also rising with new technology from 12% up to 30%, and then 40, 50, all the way up to 90 or 100% renewable. Pros and cons. Lifetime of nuclear energy right now is 90 to 200 years, given by the World Nuclear Association. Given nuclear disarmament, that's another 1 to 10 years of development for renewable energy, so it provides a little more window to bridge, a little more to get from where we are to where we need to be. Safety. France P4 RAP 1300 pressurized water reactors, very, very safe, very modern. Largely speaking, they are some of the best designed machines in the world. Older RBMK, the reactor responsible for Chernobyl, heavily modified, very safe, not as safe as modern PWR reactors, however, still very safe and pose essentially no risk. Alternatives to nuclear energy include hydro, solar, geothermal, other modern renewables, what we're moving towards anyways. Biocentric, biofuel, biomass technology that uses biomaterials to create power. Another is natural gas, a less pollutive form of fossil fuels compared to coal, and therefore a slightly better option, however, also a bridge, not something that's permanent, not something we can count on for more than 100 years. So why nuclear energy? Nuclear energy is already at its pinnacle of effectiveness, its technology is already at its pinnacle. Using it to create from the present to the future, planning it out, how many years do we have, how much time do we have to get from implementation to the future of renewables, that's what needs to happen next, and generally speaking, nuclear is already ready to be implemented, as opposed to modern renewables or other bridges that take time, need more development to get there. So nuclear energy is the best option, and that's what I believe should happen. References. Thank you.